So now it's time to set our tongue up. And there's multiple ways you could do this, but I'm going to do it my way and double check multiple times. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take our brand new hitch. Okay, this is a 7,000 pound hitch. It's a 2-inch ball and it has a 63-degree nose. It also sticks out 6 inches in front of our C-channel frame. When I set up this angle, I want 3 feet of the actual steel poking out from the front of my trailer. So the up to about this point is going to be 3 feet from the end of the trailer. I also have a center line between these two pieces marked out right here. So I know that this is my center line. And then I'm also going to use those 2 bolts that I mentioned earlier to get my cross measurements on both sides. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hitch and I'm going to grind a bevel into the back side of it, and I'm going to get rid of some of this paint so that way I can get a good solid weld to it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set our tongue, okay? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. I see a lot of homemade trailers that it'll dog track left or right because the tongue is not set up correctly. A lot of people will do the axles and they'll do them just fine, and then they'll screw up right here, okay? If you get this to the right or to the left, if you get it to the right, your trailer's gonna sit like this in comparison to your pickup when your hitch is over here. So you'll see that a lot going down the road with homemade trailers, that the trailer will actually sit a little farther left or a little farther right from the pickup. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna find our angle. And the way we're gonna do that is we're going to actually take our hitch, since we're building the trailer upside down right now, we're going to take our hitch and we're going to slide it up under there to where it meets both ends of the hitch. Okay? And we're going to kind of hold that up there. Then we're going to take our vice grips, we're going to clamp that onto the side of our beam. Okay? Then we're going to take our MIG welder and we're going to put 2 tacks on the bottom and 1 on the top just to hold this in place. Then we're going to turn around, we're going to move our clamp over to here, and we're going to do the same thing. That gives us our angle. That keeps these spread out the way that they need to be. Now we have those 2 in the right place, and that has our angle set properly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and measure from the front of our 2 angles to the back. And we want 3 feet there. So we actually need to pull our hitch, our whole assembly, forward about 8.5 inches. So we'll do that now. See now, and I was able to pull that whole thing and this stayed in line. I didn't have to worry about one piece falling over or doing some stupid shit like that. So we'll take our tape and we'll measure it again. Now I have 3 feet from here to the front of our C-channel. Like I said before, I want to keep this tongue out of that equation because this is not where my toolbox is going to be. I know I have a toolbox that sits 2 feet 6 inches from, so I want it to butt against this flat plate and against our tongue. So that's why I chose to run this out 3 feet. Now, what we're going to do to find our center is we're going to go from this center line that I drew earlier, and we're going to measure. And we're going to go, that says we are 18 inches from center there. And we're 16 inches from center there. That means this whole situation needs to come to our left 1 inch. That'll put us at 17 inches on both sides. And after we get done with that, we're going to move over to our rear parts of our legs. We'll measure those just to make sure that everything is square. Then we're going to measure from our pin to the front of our C-channel, and we're going to double cross-check those. We're gonna cross-check all that. So we'll move that over 1 inch. Okay, so now we know that right there we're centered. Now we're gonna double check these two back here. 11 1/8 and 8. So now we know that the back of these need to come out that way. Every time you change one of these, this is also going to change. So now we're at 16 1/2 and 17. So that means this side is still too far that way. So we're going to take, move this 16 3/4, 16 3/4. So we'll go back to these and we'll check them again. Okay, we should be just fine. Now we're going to turn and we're going to check our angles. Since we know that those two are right and those two ends are correct, we're going to check these. I got 47 there, because I'm an idiot. And 47 there. Now, with those 3 references, we know that this is going to pull straight. Okay, so that's it for this video. A recap of what we've done today. We set our tandem axles and we got them tacked and welded into place. Then we got our tongue measured out, square with the trailer, and tacked into place. One thing that we've learned in this video is our diagonals and checking for square is a major part of building this trailer. If the main frame was not square when we started, none of these measurements would be right in the first place. So, go check out build video number 1, if you are just now seeing this, with build 1, we squared the trailer up and tacked and welded in our original square. And then on our next video, we're going to cut our 2x3 C channel. We're going to set them in at a predetermined distance, and that might be all we get done. I don't know. You'll have to catch us in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.